Thank you so much for joining me today, Lisa. For those that haven't met Lisa before in industry, firstly, I'm not sure where you've been. She is an MVP. She's been in the PropTech space and on the CRE side specifically of PropTech for the last 30 odd years or so, if you don't mind me saying. Yeah. So yeah, most commonly affiliated with the amazing work that she's done with Nickerson, but more recently and most excitingly, newly appointed CEO of Infinityy. So Lisa, I'm keen for you to introduce yourself.
Sarah, thank you so much for having me. I'm Lisa Nickerson, again, the newly appointed CEO of Infinityy, and really excited to be here and talk about what we're doing. I've worked as the CMO of Infinityy over the past few years, helping develop the product and really have it tie in with the real estate industry using that background and experience that I have. And so now being able to take the reins and think through how we're approaching the market and approaching our value with realtors, it's an exciting time.
Yeah, and I would say it's definitely a switch up moving into more of an AI native type of company now. What would you say like the USP here is for Infinityy in particular?
Well, interesting. If you think about the people that are using the AI and realtors in particular, there's still a hesitancy to use it, and there's still a learning curve, and some people are afraid to use it. So there's one issue around the AI. The second is there are products that are coming out that are saying they'll replace the agent, and we empower the agent. This is an add-on to listings. This is an add-on for agents to be more efficient with their time, more effective, and be able to connect with people immediately through their listing. And so what we want to do is really teach people how they can use this product very simply to help them. We call it double their why. There was a why that they became a realtor. Everybody has a story. They needed more time, more flexibility. They wanted to make more money. Infinityy has two whys, so we always say, let us double your why. And we're helping people utilize AI in a way that they're not having to learn it as much as have the opportunity to use a tool that will help them.
In terms of who you're trying to reach, and if you were watching this, what problem are you solving in quick time?
Yeah, so the world has become an immediate gratification type of world, right? I know that I order from Amazon and it comes later today.
Yeah.
So with Infinityy, when you have your listing with the MLS, we partner with the MLSs and we integrate directly in. And if you're using Infinityy, then somebody could actually be in your listing and say, I want to talk to the agent. And you get a message that minute, or that second, that someone wants to talk to you. You could be texting with them right then. So you're meeting them where they are, or you could even jump into what feels like a Zoom type experience. We call it collaboration, but from your phone, from your computer, where you're in the listing with them and you can be showing them around and taking them around. And it's not just the listing, because there's a lot of information. And what's happened is more and more information is being given to people. What people just want are answers to their questions. So the AI agent is there to answer questions. It also ties in with Google Street View. So you can look at the places and spaces that relate to this property now. So instead of just looking at one home and then having all sorts of different tabs up so that you can look at where the school is, where would I go to the gym, where would I walk my dog, it's all in this one platform where you're able to look at everything all at once. Now, another problem this solves is that if somebody's just looking at a listing, then you don't know what they were thinking. They're just flipping through pictures and you know they were there. With Infinityy, we're providing the agent a transcript of that experience. So they asked about where to walk their dog. They asked about where the elementary school is. Think about all of the information you're learning about somebody now. So if they ask to speak with you, you already have that background. Or if you're following up with them, you already have a sense for what they're looking for or what they're thinking about, because you can see the transcript of everything they asked. You're meeting people where they are. That's really in an immediate sense. And it's speed. It's the speed of being able to connect and collaborate with somebody like that.
Yeah, it's that instantaneous element that I feel like everybody has become accustomed to now. Like we were mentioning when we were speaking in the past about your love for London, for example, and we find here, you miss a tube and even though there's literally one in another minute or two, but it's just the way that we are becoming accustomed to how fast the world is moving now. In terms of, what your first year is going to look like as CEO, what do you think that success will look like for you? Like, what will you need to look back on in the next year and think, yeah, I've definitely done my job?
We are currently integrated in with the Miami MLS. They were the first to sign on with us, and which is amazing because they're a leader in innovation in the market, and people really look to them for both their feedback as well as who they're working with. And so we just launched a new marketing campaign with Miami, and it's really integrating with the Miami community and having them adopt usage of the product, right? So that would be number one. I'm flying to Miami this week and we'll be there meeting with people one-on-one to really ensure that we understand how they're using the product and how we can even make it better. And then we have a number of other MLSs that we're negotiating with right now and starting to deploy into those MLSs and have adoption with them. And so that's what the first year is really that ramp, as well as fundraising, which never ends, right? So so we're fundraising and and winning over the customer at the same time.
Of your experience, especially coming from the commercial real estate side, which I don't think will be a surprise to anyone, knowing that it's still more heavily male dominated now, let alone what it was when you first started out. So do you ever feel like being, the only woman in the room, or somebody that's representing a smaller, proportion of people? Has that ever held you back? Do you feel like that's been your superpower? Is it not something you've even thought about? Because I know that everybody's lived experience is totally like relative to themselves.
No, I've certainly thought about it. I started in commercial brokerage when I was in my 20s and having kids back to back at the same time. So talk about a minority. I was also pregnant and having kids, and there weren't a lot of women who were having children at the same time. So I certainly thought about the different challenges over the years, but I've had to find my way. And the way to do that is to know that you're not like everybody else in the room. You need to lean into that as a superpower. You don't look like everybody else in the room. You're not dressed like everybody else. So how can I use that to my advantage? And that means being thoughtfully remembered. That means preparing ahead of time, knowing who you want to speak with, and then knowing that they'll remember you and that you can follow up after that. And so I think that that's been really helpful. And then also seeking out the other women in the industry who will not just mentor but sponsor you, right? So you need people who will help open those doors, but that's men or women. And just that network and that follow up and that follow through has been something I've been known for during my whole career, and will continue to coach other women to do.
It's all network. I think that's how we made this acquaintance here, because I was speaking with your colleague Molly in a pub about 2 years ago at a PropTech kickoff event. So it's just about maintaining those relationships. And what I found interesting since Molly introduced us and kind of watching your story is it seems like the more successful you've got, the more like you've achieved in your personal life as well. And I know, for example, you're training for a half Ironman at the moment. Also shouldn't be called Ironman, right? Like Iron Woman, right? But again, it's with this new opportunity of being a CEO of a PropTech company, fast moving, adoption of all of this AI, you've also been able to incorporate an amazing level of like fitness, self-discipline. It seems the more successful you've got on paper, the more successful you've got in your own life as well.
Well, I think being a startup CEO is really no different than being a triathlete. You have to be very good at multiple different types of events, and you have to train for them, and you have to be on your game, and you have to be ready. And we always have a line. My mother said, "Don't get ready, be ready." And when I chose to be the CEO of Infinityy, I started working out more. I signed up for the Ironman. I became even more disciplined because I wanted to be ready. I wanted to have that sleep every day. I wanted to have been not just well rested, but eating well, and just be at the top of my game. And the more, and it feeds on itself, right? Like you said, the better you do in one area, the better you can do in other areas. And so I'm definitely hooked into the whole longevity game and the data around longevity.
Yeah.
And my Whoop has been telling me that I'm aging backwards. So I get really excited to check it out every morning. Whoop is a Boston-based company. And so I always love to give them a shout out. But everything is going well right now. And actually, speaking of Molly and some others, I think I've been able to bring others with me too. My success is really the team success, and everybody leaning in, and all of us understanding where our strengths are. Molly has very different strengths than I do, and I'm referencing Molly Sylvia, who's our VP of strategy and operations. And we really work well complementary, right? In complementary ways. And I think that's another part of being a leader, is really understanding, and you would know this from putting the right people in the right seats, right? Is that as women, we can't say yes to everything. We can't do everything. And we absolutely have to have the right people in the right seats and be working as a team all towards the same goal, right? We have to know where the finish line is per se. And so it's been an exciting time, but every day I'm training on all ends to make sure that we're ready for the next day.
Amazing. Well, I'm so glad in this schedule, in this time that Infinityy is just about to boom, that you were able to make time to speak to me. I'm sure a lot of people watching this will be so impressed with the time management and everything that you've been able to achieve. So I'm definitely going to be watching and, wishing you growth, wishing you happiness, and good luck for your half Ironman. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I'm ready to like the LinkedIn post whenever it goes up. Maybe by the time we actually crop this down, you might have done it. But I appreciate your time, Lisa. It's been great to chat more.
Thanks, Sarah. So good to talk with you.